402 Sports Drop. We got NWA Hall of Famer with the likes of Ted DiBiase, Sting, Chip Douglas, Vic Douglas, and Vern Gagne, and a lot of other guys. We got Brian Blade here, heavyweight champion of the world. Bring it in. Let's do it. Let's have a good conversation here. There you go, champ.
Nice to be here, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for joining the 402 Sports Drop. We've been doing this shit for a little while, trying it out. We got about 35 episodes under our belt, so now we get a world champ to interview, and this is going to be fun.
Champ.
Look forward to it.
Champ. So, how'd you get into the business?
Well, I'd always kind of wanted to be a wrestler. In college, another guy that I know that's in the Hall of Fame, Vincent Goodnight or Vince Evans. Me and him loved wrestling. Started watching Nitro and Raw together all the time and went to a few wrestling events and both talked about going to wrestling school. After our sophomore year, he decided to go to wrestling school. He went back to the Wild Samoan School in Pennsylvania. I was going to graduate first. I wasn't about to. My mom probably would have killed me if I said I was going to wrestling school before I graduated college. So got out of college and I started my own construction company, and then I was just working out in the gym. A guy I know in the gym said, "Hey, there's a wrestling school here in Omaha now." And I said, "Okay." And I went in the first time and took a look, and there's about 40 guys in there. Very few of them looked like wrestlers, and they had one ring. And I just kind of looked at it. And
what school was it?
The OWA school.
The OWA, yes. Me and actually the guy in the tie, looking snazzy right there. Me and him actually wrestled for OWA for what was it, Maury Swanger? Yep. We actually, he brought us in and we did it for a little while. Dude dropped me on the head in the middle of a suplex.
Yeah, that's never fun.
No, it's not.
He didn't jump.
But anyways, carry on.
And well, the first time I just kind of left. I was like, "There's no way I'm getting trained in this place." And he convinced me to come back maybe a month later, and more than half those guys were gone. So kind of started training, and Jaden Drago was the guy that was kind of my lead trainer for about a month, and then the school kind of started falling apart, and I was kind of on my own. And with the training wise, I mean, there was guys still there, but kind of training myself, and me and Max Magnus were doing a lot of training together in Abu Colossus, and
Colossus.
Then Jerry Ford came along, who was Johnny Deadpool or Johnny Jackson, and he was kind of training with us. So that's kind of where it started. And then I did my first show after 2 months of training.
Wow.
OWA or MWA?
OWA.
OWA?
MWA didn't start for about 6 years after that.
Was Muscles Malone still there?
Yeah, Muscles was still there, kind of on and off at that time.
Yeah,
Every now and then he was still coming around once in a while.
He was giving me and Josh the licks, dude. He was like, "I'm gonna hit you hard. You better bump." And so he would just like, "Oh," and hit you. You better bump, or you're just gonna get ran through. And that's what Muscles kept on telling us the whole time.
Yeah, I never ended up working with Muscles. I mean, maybe a battle royal once in that early time, but he was almost done by then.
Yeah, we were back in 02.
There was a few, so.
We were back in, there was a big argument going on there?
No, I think just life.
Okay.
Life and personal issues and things like that, things that catch up with a multitude of wrestlers.
Yeah, we ran across the OWA doing a church parking lot wrestling event, and LOD was there.
Yep, that's the one with LOD and Sting.
And he busted that dude up, dude. That doomsday device did not go well for that poor young cat.
Well, that guy should have never been in the ring. So.
Truth.
But
Truth.
It was their show. So.
Yeah, church parking lot. It was wild. It was wild. Anybody else got some questions?
Go ahead.
Did you go to the Wild Samoan School?
No, I didn't go to the Wild Samoan School.
So other than wrestling, what are your main interests?
I watch a lot of football. Used to play football. I like sports in general for the most part, but football is probably my favorite sport.
Who's your teams?
Well, I'm a Nebraska fan.
Yeah, boy.
This past weekend was not fun.
No, it wasn't, but that was a good team. It was 5-2. We walked away pretty good. got our asses whooped, but they were good.
They were good, but they weren't that good. We made them look way better than they should have been. That was kind of pathetic.
And what if they walked through Ohio State?
Well, we'll see what happens. I hopefully I don't think it's going to be good against Ohio State either, but hopefully they play better.
Yeah.
So where'd you play football?
I walked on in Nebraska in '95.
Really?
Got hurt though, so never did anything. Got hurt, so never actually got to do anything. I would have been. Those guys were so good. I'd have been lucky by the time I was a senior, probably to get to third string. I mean, that's how good those guys were. I was big and strong. I wasn't all that. I wasn't super fast. I just, football wise, I always just kind of knew what was coming. It was just one of those. I mean, I can watch a football game and I know what the offense is doing. I know where the defense is going. It's just, and that was the only reason I was. But speed wise, I probably could have played fine at Division II. But Nebraska was always my dream. So if I'd have ended up third string and a tackling dummy for 4 or 5 years, I'd have been fine with that too.
Yeah, 95, I was still a Florida State fan.
That's too bad.
I was born in San Diego, moved to Nevada.
That man.
During that whole thing, I was Florida State over Nebraska until I came here, and Nebraska was shoved in every orifice I have in my body, and so now I'm a Nebraska fan, diehard.
Well, Florida State was good back then. Charlie
Ward was my guy.
Warwick Dunn and
Charlie Ward,
they had
Dion. Yep.
Yeah, yep. I mean, they were good teams, and
there was a guy that I worked with, Jason Berner, walked on. I don't know if he walked on or played early 90s as well. He was a tackling dummy for him.
Yeah, that happens to a lot of folks. You just become a tackling dummy, and you just
dummy.
realize that. And,
yep.
That's what a lot of walk-ons are. I mean, you have to be, especially then, you had to be something special to really see the field. I mean, I probably would have seen the field once in a while. I mean, they were beating guys and teams so bad that everyone got to play, but in some games. But overall, I was never going to be. They'd have had to be pretty desperate if I'd have been a starter. I was just, I was good to be out there because I knew what I was doing.
You understood the game.
What's that?
I said you understood the game.
Yeah, I understood the game. Yeah. I just didn't have the, like I said, I wasn't, as a walk-on, especially back then, you didn't get some of the perks, we'll just put it that way, that scholarship athletes got.
Yeah, inducted to the Nebraska Hall of Fame. I didn't even know there was one until I was doing my homework on you, so I didn't come and look like a damn fool. And so I was doing my homework on you, and I realized there's a Nebraska Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yeah, 2022, I was inducted, so 2 years ago. Yeah, they started the Hall of Fame, I think, in 2000, I want to say 19, maybe it was 18. And it was mainly for people that had had an impact on pro wrestling in the state of Nebraska. Now, I mean, some of it's kind of reached out a little bit to a little more than that at times. I like Vern Gagne, he was the head of the AWA. They put on, Omaha was a staple of the AWA until about 1982. They had their own Omaha heavyweight championship for a long time too. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was an Omaha heavyweight champion. There was a Nebraska state champion for a while. There was a lot of what I would call, I don't know, kind of fringe championships, but the Omaha championship then at some point was merged. I don't remember exactly the time, but it was merged with the AWA championship, and there was just one champion. It kind of seemed like they dug up the Nebraska championship whenever they decided they needed a champion on one of these small town shows, let's say in a McCook or a Holdridge or Grand Island or Hastings or something like that once in a while.
For sure. Yeah, because Omaha, back in the day, Omaha was like the center of America right there. It was just Omaha, boom, is the center of America. Everybody, even Bob Seger wrote a song about Omaha.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like Omaha was the center staple of the United States for a long time, especially before with the railroad. I'm not trying to go too much history here, but
railroad and I-80 goes right through it. So
exactly,
you're traveling east to west. You kind of
gotta get through Omaha. Yep, everybody wants to go through Omaha. So, who was guys you looked up to growing up as wrestlers?
I loved Mad Dog Vachon. Hulk Hogan, he was always one of my favorites, even in the AWA.
Now?
What's that? Yeah, he still is. I don't, people make mistakes.
Did you meet him in Omaha?
No,
have you met him before?
I didn't go meet him. No, I've never actually met him. But I figured I'm not gonna wait in line. It's like if I really want to meet him, I'll just fly to Tampa and go to his his beach shop there and sing karaoke on a Monday night or something.
I just canceled my vacation a week ago because of the hurricanes. That's where I was headed. My wife was she booked it over there so we could go to the beach house, the beach bar. And
yeah, he's always there. So I figured that'd be a lot easier to meet him if I want to do that. I go to Florida, enough that one of these days I'll just mosey over to Tampa and just
yeah, it would be pretty cool.
Hang out and meet him that way. Not waiting to buy beer.
Yeah, my ex-wife sent me a picture of her meeting Hulk Hogan. I was like, wow, that means I've been inside somebody who met Hulk Hogan. So I guess I met him too.
By proxy.
By proxy, exactly.
Well, if that's by proxy, man, I'm related to the Hardy Boys. My ex-wife was cousins with them.
Oh, there you go. You're a champ yourself, Josh. Good job, Jiggly.
I have no proxy. I'm just a fat guy from Nebraska.
Doing an awesome podcast with the World Heavyweight Champ.
Football.
Yes, that's true. Very true. Very true.
So, Brian, how old is the MWA?
It started in, let's see, what would have been, so 16 years ago, 17 years ago? Let's see. Trying to think the exact date. It's either 16 or 17 years ago.
Did you start it?
Myself and Austin Storm started it. Because the OWA kind of died and we're trying to fill the gap, fill the void there, and there's a lot of guys that needed, that wanted to still work. And well, then I kind of, after a few years, I kind of took it over. And Austin Storm retired and kind of took everything over. And we've kind of been a traveling company ever since. We're not, Lincoln's kind of our base, but we travel all over the Midwest.
What's your favorite spot?
I see y'all in Illinois and Iowa, Kansas.
Yep. We've gone all over. We do shows in Minnesota every year. We've been to South Dakota, Colorado, Missouri, Indiana. So we've done shows all over the place. So yeah, it's kind of fun, but sometimes it's a lot of work. It's like, okay, where are we at this week, and why are we doing it there?
What time zone am I in?
Yeah. Well, Indiana's really funky because you go north to south and you go down the interstate there and you go into Eastern time, back to Central, back to Eastern, back to Central on the same interstate.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What, 64?
I think it's 64, yeah. You're trying to remember, okay, is this showing
Virginia
Central
Beach,
or is this showing Eastern time? Makes a difference when you're way there.
Yeah, it does.
So how long have you been wrestling?
22 years.
Oh, wow. In them 22 years, any major injuries or anything like that?
No, nothing major. I'm both my knees are a little messed up. I think I don't have I don't know if I have a MCL that works anymore, but my knee doctor said, like, you don't need them if they don't hurt. I'm like, okay, they don't hurt, so I'm not gonna.
But you carry a big frame on those legs. Those knees are carrying a big frame, so.
Yeah, but they don't bother me. So he's like, he was one of those. He said, mine's been messed up for 20 years. So he said, I can still run and everything else. He said, don't worry about it. I kind of like that guy because he's one. He looked at my shoulders too, and he said, don't get surgery until you absolutely need surgery.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
So he knows your profession.
Yeah. So, but no real major injuries. I mean, there's aches and pains and things that hurt here and there once in a while, but nothing major. Knock on wood, and hopefully nothing happens before I decide to retire, or nothing forces me to retire.
Yeah. Of the 22 years, what was your favorite match that you had?
Oh man, favorite match, boy.
I
mean, I've had about 2,000 matches, so that's
most memorable. Most memorable.
Most memorable, boy.
Probably winning the strap the first time, I would think.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that was decent. I don't know, I've had some really good matches with gorgeous Alex Gretzky. That have been just, the crowd's been insane. A lot of times it just matters with it's the crowd and you know what you're doing. A lot of matches with Gretzky have been really good. Eric Fantabulous, I've had some of my favorite matches with. The other guy, Big Hoss, I've had some really good matches with. Austin Storm I had some really good matches with. So I don't know. I don't know if I could bring one. It's exactly my favorite match. There's been so many, and it's just.
Yeah.
So what Flair says
hard
is,
to say one.
like Flair says, your opponent you're only as good as your opponent. So you guys can put on bangers if you're both good at what you do.
Well, if you're both good, I mean, it doesn't. I've wrestled plenty of guys that probably aren't nearly as good as I am. But if you're good at what you do, it doesn't matter who you wrestle.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah.
It's a wrestler's job. If you are good at what you do, you can adapt your style to anybody, anywhere, anytime. There's a lot of guys around that call themselves really good, but all they do, they can't wrestle a guy that's not good. It's easy to be real good with. Yeah, it's real easy to be really good when the other guy's really good. It's not always easy when the other guy's not good. The guy's green. The guy don't have a moveset that's worth crap. You've got to be able to be good in every circumstance, not just against, the best opponents all the time.
Yeah.
Do you ever get irritated and want to just knock their heads off sometimes?
Maybe once, in all honesty. I'm pretty.
Oh, now you got one?
There's probably one. Once or twice it's happened. There's a couple guys that just, every now and then it's just, all right, come on. This isn't. You're making this way harder and worse on yourself than you need to. Just,
I've always heard slow the fuck down. That's what
Yes.
I've always heard a lot. I've heard that a lot. It's slow the fuck down.
Well, and indie wrestling is different than TV wrestling, and too many guys don't understand that. You're not, when you're doing indie wrestling, very rarely are you wrestling. You're wrestling for the camera. Like every indie company now has a camera, but a YouTube show and a show on major cable is completely different.
Yeah.
In a hard camera and in an indie show is not a hard camera at a WWE show. It's not the same thing. Guys don't understand that. There's too many guys now, these young guys, that one, they're getting hurt because they think they can do everything they see on AEW or New Japan or whatever and do all these flips and this and that. And, and they don't understand why they're doing them. They don't understand that an indie audience is different than a WWE or AEW audience. It's two completely different things, and you need to wrestle to your audience. You're not wrestling for yourself. If you don't wrestle for the audience, well, they're not going to care.
Why are you doing
time.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of people that are doing it just for themselves, and they have to, got to hit all their moves and get this in and get that in, and they don't understand why you do moves and what you're trying to do. And the fact is, when you're wrestling independent wrestling, you're wrestling for the crowd. You have to interact with the crowd. You're not, there's not 10,000 people there. There might be 10 people. There might be 500. There might be 1,000, but you're wrestling for them. They want to be entertained. They don't want you to do move for move for move for move. That's why you watch some of this stuff now. And
Yeah,
everybody on the planet does a dive. Nobody cares anymore.
Mhm.
Every match you see a dive.
and you see
Every
the same.
match you see,
Go ahead.
every match you see super kick now. It's just a move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's always the same setup: the push of the ropes, drop down, run over the top, come back around. It's always the same shit. It's either a hip toss, back body drop, or whatever. It's always the same. And when we did it with OWA, you start seeing it. Now that you've had a small routine in it, you see it, you start marking it out. And that's my problem with pro wrestling is I think I look way too fucking deep into it, and I miss the show
Yeah.
because I'm looking at everything they're doing, which your knowledge is probably a hell of a lot more than mine. But I'm just saying that's what I think sometimes ruined me about it is I look too deep into the show, into the match.
Well, I take myself away from that. Like I just become Brian the fan, and not like I'm not trying to. Oh, that sucked. That if it sucks, it sucks. There's not.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm not trying to look. Oh, they screwed that up, or oh, they screwed that up, or that should have been that, or I don't want to watch. I don't ever want to get into watching wrestling like that. I just want to be entertained.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's
And,
that's important for me is just to be able to turn my head off and be like, here's the show. And that was nice.
Right. Yeah.
Entertaining.
It's just. Yeah, and you want to, and like my biggest problem with AEW is it's just, there's no continuity in anything they do.
Turning into WCW.
And they all do the same moves. And then
Mhm.
you don't know, like one guy's a heel one week, and he's a face the next week, and then he's a heel. Like, why in the world? If you don't watch it for a week, you wonder what the hell just happened. And
Yeah.
I don't watch it that often. I used to watch it more. I usually DVR whatever one Dynamite that comes on Wednesday, and I try to watch it fast.
I don't watch
that's
any
the
of
only- That's the only one I watch, but just so I kind of know what's going on, because I got a lot of friends that still wrestle there, and people that I know, and
Oh, who do you know
but
there?
well, I've known
Name
like
drop.
Lance
Come
Archer.
on now.
I've known Lance Archer for a long time. Known him
Oh,
for
that dude.
20 years. He might be. I wrestled him a few years back. We had a really good match, but I wouldn't say it was one of my favorites. It was a really good match, but it wasn't.
You watch WWE? Any WWE programming?
Yeah, I watch most of the WWE stuff because.
Who's your guy? Dominic Mysterio?
Oh.
That's my dog. Look at all these motherfuckers laughing. That's my dude. And that right there, that's humility. That's humility in the ring, like you were saying. That he's doing it for the audience. And his humility is what the audience want. So when he gets in there and he gets beat up by the girls or gets beat up by Damian Priest, that's the humility of just doing it for the crowd, not doing it for his own.
And he's the most over heel doing it.
And natural heel.
So
you don't have to do anything.
At some point when he does become a babyface, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
He's going to be the next coming of Eddie.
Yeah, you just got to be smart and know when to do it, and that's also an indie wrestling thing and an AEW thing. Is like guys don't understand, simple long-term booking whatsoever. Even there's guys sometimes in the MWA like, well, why are we doing this? I'm like, just wait. Everything pays off in the end, but you can't if you give it to the audience right away. What are they coming back for next time?
Trips gets that. Trips really gets that.
You have to, and that's the best thing about WWE lately is the storytelling has been, really good. Even the bloodline. It's like, all right, who's coming in? Where's it going? Okay, now you wonder, okay, where's the Rock? What side's the Rock gonna fall on? Is Jay gonna come help Jimmy and Roman? Are they is somebody new going to come in? Is Paul Heyman coming back? Week to week to week, they're like, I think they've dropped the ball a little on Cody. But they're going into that thing with Gunther, but I don't know where Cody goes after the thing with Gunther. I like Cody, but
Cody can kick
I'm
rocks.
not a Cody crybaby. I'm not.
No, I was not either.
I'm not
either. Not at all.
I like Cody outside the ring when you hear his messages and stuff like that. Albert in the front row, go ahead, buddy.
No, I was just raising my hand.
Oh, you're raising your hand. You guys are
Crybaby.
crybabies? Oh, okay. I thought you had a question. No, but from the get-go, I like Cody outside of the ring, the way he talks about things, the way he carries himself and everything like that. He almost sounds like the second coming of his dad, the way he understands the business so well and how long he's been in it. And that's awesome. But I don't like the putting him way over, making him way over. And I think Roman's going to be more over than Cody is.
Oh, I agree with that. And, like I said, they've positioned Cody now. They kind of had to turn Kevin Owens heel just so they gave him another opponent because they haven't positioned anybody else to go after him.
That we would believe. They put people
Right.
on him, and none of us right here picked him to lose. It's like, okay, well, nope, Cody wins that. They're not going to drop the belt to him.
But yeah, he wasn't dropping it to AJ, and
No.
Oh no.
and right now, I guess you could go to Kevin. You could go to Randy Orton with him.
Yeah,
maybe.
Randy Orton.
But then do you turn Randy heel, or do you end up having some triple threat match? Like the writing on it, like everything else, I thought has been really good. It's the Cody part that kind of, it's like where is he going to go from Gunther to Survivor Series? Are we going back to Owens? We did that match. Owens lost. Owens didn't even think he was, should have been in the match. And now all of a sudden, okay, he turns on him. Are they going to feud for the belt a little bit? Now Kevin thinks he deserves a title shot again.
And we're right in the Roman thing where Roman was in the bloodline, and then we never took the belt off of Roman. They never took it off him. And it was like on and on and on. And it was like, okay, so how do you make Roman lose? You got to make him lose. But how? How can you not diminish that huge character?
But at the
Just like
same
Cody.
time, with Cody right now, I don't think they should ever put it on him. They with Cody, he now like everybody's saying is everybody wanted him to have it so bad. And
he's
now
so
it's
over.
just like they're like, what now? And now he's just having a bunch of matches for what?
Yeah, that's the worst part. Sometimes it's like, okay, you got what you wanted, but
Ticket sales.
What now?
Yeah.
And he's still over. I mean, I enjoy him in the ring. It's just, and it's not always the champion's fault if they don't have, if they haven't set up proper opponents for him.
It's starting to get old. It's just now starting to get old. It's not overdrawn yet, but it's just now starting to get old where it's like, I'm tired of this. I'm done with it.
There's rumors that Lesnar's coming back, and maybe he goes into a program with Lesnar.
Fuck that guy. Bottom line, fuck that guy. I can't stand Lesnar. I can't stand Lesnar.
But he's a draw.
He is. Yeah, he's a huge draw. He is.
I mean,
he's a.
There's people that some people are gonna like, some aren't gonna want him. But if they sell tickets, that's all that matters in the end.
Yeah,
I mean, exactly. That's all this business is about, is selling tickets and making money. And even on the indies, I try to explain this to you. I was like, you're not worth anything if you can't sell a ticket for me. Or if I can't sell a ticket for you, if I'm coming onto your show, I'm not really. I'm just a filler. If I can fill you with anybody, or I can be filled with anybody, if I can't draw emotion out of the crowd and make them want to come back and see me again.
And that's what everybody says. Like, I can't stand Stephanie. I hate Stephanie. Then she's doing her job. She's right. You hate her. That is her job.
I mean, for that matter, Cody, he's doing his job.
But it being over and everybody just giving everything once.
But you give him you're either booing him or you're clapping for him. Some way you're getting a reaction. So reaction sells.
You could always go the route of The Rock with him if The Rock's is back for long enough.
I don't think they need The Rock. I think they have so many other wrestlers that can fill in for that.
Well, they do, but if you're going, WrestleMania wise, you kind of would like to have The Rock for the extra box office.
Dwayne needs The Rock.
I think what WrestleMania brings is the Roman versus Rock match that everybody wanted too.
Well, that's what I think too. It's just a match. You also have to think about has Roman won the title back? Has Rock beat Cody for the title? Is Cody still the champion? And where have they gone? Maybe they've turned Randy heel by then to.
Yeah.
Go against Cody.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Josh.
Braun Breaker could fit into there somewhere.
Yes.
Braun Breaker.
Yes.
My dude.
Yes.
Braun Breaker's my dude. I was always
Braun Breaker fan.
I was always a Papa Pump fan. I don't care about the gibberish and all his bullshit. I was a genetic freak, steroid user. Fuck yeah, man.
Hey,
I loved it.
Said, he passed every drug test they gave him.
Oh, did he?
That's what he says.
I was a huge Scott Steiner fan.
He only liked the chainmail hat.
I liked his peaks and his freaks.
Madeja.
That was one freak. He had freaks.
Freaks every 8 days a week.
So Brian, the most loved dude in the MWA, Brian Blade.
Yes.
Why do you turn freaking heel? Now you don't have to answer that if you don't want to.
Shaking it up.
I don't know if I so much turned heel, if the fans turned heel on me.
Ooh, we cut a promo now. Get him, Brian.
Was it really? I didn't change that much. The fans changed. Somebody like say Van Johnson, who was a thorn in my side, and it was wreaking havoc and made my wrestling life hell for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden, they want to cheer him, and I'm not supposed to still want to beat the crap out of him for all the stuff he's done for the past 2.5 years.
Well, I like that every time you whipped up on Van.
So now, now we got, all these young guys want to come up, and, sometimes they got to be taught a lesson. Well, right now I'm in the lesson teaching business.
Yeah.
I know. We were there at that last show, and we saw Xander there mess up, and he dropped that gold. That and he had what coming to him. And
Yeah, we can't have screw ups. We cannot have screw ups. You got to do your job, and he's been screwing up a lot lately. So he had to go, and hopefully this Friday night the Steve takes complete care of him.
I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be cheering on the Steve, man. I am a big mark for the Doomsday right now.
Good, you're a smart man. There's not a lot of smart people out there, but you're a smart man.
We always go for the heels. We like to be the dicks all the time. That we boo Cody, Dom. Look, hey, I'm even sporting the purple on my microphone. Yeah, I'm a Judgment Day fan for a long freaking time. Club. We always are. We're the heel fan club. Me and him just love pissing people off. He was a Hardy fan, so he's gay. But we're always for the heels and everything.
I just like wrestling.
The goofy ass tie he got on.
I know.
Knock his tie because you're over there with your goofy ass toys.
Hey, I had to dress up for the champ. I got my button up, Bret Hitman Hart, my fancy tie. We have the champ on here, and you guys over there looking like a bunch of schlubs.
Hey, I got my macho shirt on.
You got a tie?
No, I didn't wear a tie.
What, did you die?
Yeah, Macho didn't wear a tie very often.
Macho never wore a tie because the cream rises to the top. Oh yeah. So, are there any female wrestlers in your MWA?
Yeah, our women's champion Stormy Renee. She won't be back until December. She's got a pretty filled schedule, so got to get her when I can. So
I only went to one show, and I don't remember seeing a female wrestling match on that show. Was there? Did I miss it?
There was.
Did I forget about it? Was there too many shooters involved, or what happened?
There was a women's match.
I just didn't know how
I
much.
remember who it was.
I'm not sure which one you went to. So yeah, we're working on getting more females. There's just not a lot of females in the area. That's the biggest issue. There's just a lot of. So you got to try to pull them from everywhere else, but other people are trying to pull them from everywhere else too. So you just got to get them when you can, and like I said, there's just not. I think there's only. Boy, right now there might only be one female wrestler in the state of Nebraska. There were two, and one quit.
Really?
Yeah. So
but all the sports we have out here.
Yeah, the rest of the girls I usually get are either from Kansas, that's where Stormy is from, or I get a lot from Colorado. Every now and then I get someone from Missouri or Iowa. There's some girls that were trained at the Seth Rollins School there in Davenport.
Oh yeah.
But they get booked up pretty fast by all the promotions in Chicago. So it's just you got to hurry up and try to figure out who you want and try to get them. And like I said, it's just it's kind of a supply and demand type deal. There's just not many of them.
Yeah. So who are you a fan of on mainstream wrestling, like WWE or AEW for female wrestlers?
I like Nia Jax. I don't know why. I just do.
That's Albert's girlfriend. You better slow down. Albert's going to tackle you next time he sees you.
I fucking quit.
I think at times she was unfairly scrutinized at times, but she's made a nice big comeback. I always liked Charlotte Flair. I just thought
the Queen.
I think she's the most talented women's wrestler in the world.
Me too. I love the Queen. I think she's the greatest.
I always really liked Asuka and Io Sky. I think they're really good. So I mean, they got a really good, talented women's division. So I mean, NXT might even have a better women's division overall.
Right now, I'm waiting for the Rhea Ripley Tiffy time feud. I think that will be a good feud. I think those two could hang with each other pretty damn well, especially as strong as both them women are. I think they could hold a pretty damn good match, and I'm ready to see that. I'm ready to see that.
So Brian, when are you going to bring Storm back?
Bring who?
James Storm.
I don't know. His schedule's pretty. It's pretty filled up lately. He's doing a lot of acting right now, so his dates and my dates need to line up, and lately they haven't. So he's been filming a TV show for Netflix. He also has a realty business that he's doing that he has, him and his wife. So he stays pretty busy. So trying to fill up the dates, that line up to when he's not doing a movie or a TV show right now, it's kind of tough. But I mean, I talk to him from time to time, and He's doing real well, so I'm really happy for him. But yeah, right now he's kind of starting to make that complete transition to I wouldn't call it Hollywood, but but he's made. I mean, not a lot of stuff's made in Hollywood anymore, anyway. But he's doing a lot of. He's got some shows that'll be out here on Netflix pretty quick. I know he's got one that should be out here, I think next month.
What is it?
I can't remember what exactly. It's a Western, so I can't remember exactly.
Oh, a Western, huh?
Yeah, it's like a Western series. I mean, he's played. I don't think he plays a cowboy in that though, but he might. There's another movie he kind of plays a cowboy in, but
I thought you were talking about maybe Heels.
Too, so. No,
that'd be nice.
Yeah,
I want a third season of that to come out.
I've got through one episode right now, and I was like, "Whoa!" I didn't really like it. I'm gonna try to watch it some more. I didn't really. I don't know. I was there was some of it. I'm like, who in the hell sits down at a computer and types all this garbage up? Maybe I'm weird or something, but like
I couldn't really get into it.
If you can get past that, it turns out to be a really good show.
All right. Well, I've only got to one episode. It being me with my wrestling schedule, it being football season, it's tough to add a bunch of other shows to things right now.
So with everything you got going on, what would you say is the hardest to manage time-wise?
Sometimes just getting everywhere, getting everything lined up, getting everywhere. Finding time to talk to sponsors sometimes that's tough. I mean, we know how tough it is me to find time to come on here. It was like,
yeah, it was work. We blamed it all on Albert, so don't worry about that, Brian.
I had a lot of shit, but you kept canceling on me. They're like,
we're excited to get you on.
Very excited.
We don't believe you. We don't believe you. You ain't gonna get Blade on here. I'm like, trying.
I didn't say I didn't believe you. I didn't believe in you to get him on here.
I guess the other tough thing is to make sure all the guys show up and all the guys and women show up in a night. That's the most stressful thing. Is like, okay, is everyone going to be here and show up, or do I got to start changing stuff on the card?
And that's what I'm saying. If you're out here in Lincoln and they don't show up, grab that guy right there, Albert, and throw him in the ring and just go to work on him. I'm sure the crowd will be happy. We'll be up front cheering about it.
There you go,
dude. I'm pretty comfortable in my chair
and
ringside there.
Yeah, we got to get tickets still for the. Are we gonna do it the same way?
Yeah,
I don't care if you want to sit ringside again. Yeah.
I told Albert I'd save you guys. If you want 3, you want 4 front rows, just let me know, and I can hold those back for you.
Well, the 3 you got for me is different than us guys.
Oh, okay. Well,
so Randy, I already got mine. All you got to do is get for you, Benny, and Jiggly.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So Albert's our kind of a liaison here. Go ahead, Josh.
I wanted to ask you about your match on Friday night against the Prince. You worried? You think you worried about him?
I'm not worried about him, but he is. He's highly talented. He's fast. He's skilled. He's a smart kid. He's gonna, he's gonna go places. He's won tag titles in the past.
He ain't taking a title this Friday, though, right?
No, he's not taking the title this Friday. That's not going to happen. He's gonna have to be a lot faster and a lot stronger than what he is in order to beat me. It's Friday night's gonna be a wrestling night for him. He's gonna learn something come Friday night. But
he ain't gonna get famous from you.
No, that's not gonna happen Friday night. Like I said, he's up and coming. He's good. He's gonna be. You're gonna hear a lot from him in the future, but his future's not Friday night.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
All right.
When are we going to see Levi back in the ring?
Levi should be cleared. I just talked to him the other day, so it's looking like he should be cleared in January.
All right.
I'm a Blade fan first, but I'm a big Levi fan.
I understand being a fan of Levi. I know, he kind of, had to end up out of Doomsday, but Levi is a good wrestler, tough guy. I helped train Levi, so when he gets back, we'll see which direction he decides he wants to try and go.
Either with me or through me.
Yep, those are about the 2 directions he's got.
And I want to know if I could hit Mustache Ref on the side of his head.
I don't know if we start hitting the referees yet, but
He
why
does
do we
some
not
screwed
like
up
those
shit,
stat refs?
Blade.
Take it up
when
to
it comes
Albert
down
to
to
attack the
doomsday
ref.
matches, you got the best refs. I mean, they call them straight down the middle. There's no shenanigans going that
What
I
kind of
see.
shit you smoking?
I don't know. I don't like that Rudy Diamond
I sold
guy
it to
too
him.
much, but I think he's.
I love
think
Rudy.
Diamond's against me, but the rest of the refs, I think they do a pretty good job. Rudy, I'm not. I don't know about Rudy.
And some of the other fans that you guys got around there, I don't know what their problem is. They always trying to say that you suck, but people who hold the goal do not suck.
Exactly.
Holding the goal, you
And-
can't stop. Except Cody.
And Tanner's gonna prove that again too this Friday night. Tanner's he's got a big title defense against the guy I like to beat up, Van Johnson. So in a rematch, so I think Tanner's going to take him out too for good, hopefully.
Good. That's why I like that guy. He seems like he's got a good head on his shoulder. Tanner.
Tanner's
he knows.
got a good future.
Yeah, I can tell. I can see him going places.
He's a strong guy. He's a good kid. He listens. He pays attention, and he wants to get better. So
Good sponge.
you can't ask. Yeah, you can't ask for more out of somebody than Tanner. He's working his tail off.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear stuff like that about, especially the younger guys or guys coming up, stuff like that. If they're sponging, they really want to learn. That's awesome. That means
Yeah,
you're
like I said, he's going to be good. You'll be hearing a lot. I would think you would hear a lot from him. It's just a matter of now he needs to get out of his comfort zone of this. If he really wants to go somewhere, he's got to get out of the Omaha Lincoln bubble that he's staying in right now, and he needs to start branching out to some of these other places. And I told him I could help him. I make a bunch of phone calls, get him booked wherever he wants to go. It's just a matter. He's got to just go.
You got to bring it anywhere. Wherever you go, you got to bring it. Just keep on bringing it.
Well, there's times I've tried. There's a couple times I've tried. And he hasn't come. Like I said, if he can get out of that bubble and other people can see him too, he's got a chance. Especially, he's height wise. That's the only thing that may hold him back. But at least now it seems like the WWE's not quite as worried about you having to be 6'2", 6'3" anymore.
Vince is gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes it just takes, that first time you jump off that high dive, it's that first jump that you have to do. You got to do it. And if you don't do it, you're going to be scared the whole time. You got to freaking do it, see how it feels. And then after that, you'll get more acclimated to it. That's what I would think, especially with him wanting to go to different places. Just get that first jump.
Some
It's
people
a
just
comfort
don't,
level.
some people don't like to travel. That's the other, they don't like to travel, and they don't, I love to travel. I always love to travel. Just one of the things, I loved going to, Texas and Oklahoma and Colorado and Missouri and
Wrestling in
North
Texas.
Dakota and Canada and, all those places. And, but you've got to get used to it. It's a lifestyle. It's not easy. I mean, there's plenty of nights that I haven't slept. There's still nights I don't sleep, when you run, and you've got to love it. And if you don't completely love it, then it can run you into the ground. I mean, when I was running, when I was going to Texas, there was a lot of times I was up, every weekend or every other weekend. I was going to, especially Amarillo, I'd be up 41, 42 straight hours every, 2 weeks.
Sometimes
that
loving
run.
it that much runs you straight into the ground because you love it so damn much. You run yourself into it. Like what Stone Cold Steve Austin say, it's like running into a brick wall at freaking 50 miles an hour. It just hits you, and then you're spent.
You got to be smart about it. Though. You don't, some of those guys run themselves into walls with, using some stuff that they probably shouldn't be.
Extracurricular activities.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not okay to have a drink here and there, but you can't be taking uppers and to get up and downers to get down, and then more uppers, and then anything, and then something else in between. It's one of those things. I mean, maybe I'm lucky to have been blessed. I don't know. I don't need a lot of sleep to function.
Me neither.
So
I'm not a sleep deprived person.
Yeah, I don't, if I get, you give me 2-3 hours of sleep, boom, I'm rolling. And like I said, there was times, I'd drive, if I didn't have a Friday booking, I'd leave, say, Omaha, me and like Vash Hartley or something, leave Omaha at 10, 11 o'clock on Friday night, drive straight to Amarillo, We have a little stop in Oklahoma City. There was a Golden Corral there on the west side. We usually hit when it opened at 7:30 in the morning. We usually try to time that out.
You big old asses walking the Golden Corral, eat everything they got.
Well, Vash wasn't very big, so Vash was about 170 pounds, so he wasn't real big. But
Man, I think my shadow weighs more than that.
Vash is a good wrestler, though. I wish he wouldn't have given it up. He was really good, but. Yeah, we hit Amarillo, and some of those guys, the hotel would let us in early because they got to know us, and we get to go in early. And some of those guys go to sleep. I go to the gym, work out, and the bar in the hotel would open about 2:30. I'd have a beer, and then head over to the venue. And some of those guys I'd help train, and then by the time we get done, head back. Sometimes get a Whataburger on the way back, and go to the hotel and go to the bar. They always had It was a big cowboy bar. It was we stuck out like sore thumbs in there, but they were all cool. And we sit there and drink till 2-3 in the morning and
hit the ground running.
Rooms. Yep, sleep for 3-4 hours. Sometimes if you're lucky, you got 5 and get out of the hotel by 9 because I'd wrestle at 2:30 in Oklahoma City on Sunday afternoons. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, me and Jiggly, we were in the military. We were in the Navy, and we do that. We party all night and then go back out. We're on watching shit, half hungover. I remember one time I was on the flight deck to go work with my jet, take off my goggles, off the side of it, go back to work.
Yeah, go right back and keep going.
Get back.
I drove an aircraft carrier, so I had to keep one eye on the ocean.
Yeah, and it was always just go, go, go. And I'm the type of guy who hit the ground running, and I'm always awake. I'm always 100 mile an hour. People tell me to shut up in the morning because I'm so fucking loud. But that's just the way I am in the morning.
I'm not loud. I'm just one of those. I get up and go. I get up, boom, get my stuff out the door. Whatever I'm doing or whatever. Or up and into the gym. Just kind of. I don't sit down and drink a cup of coffee or just boom up and just move and go and.
I'd go and I'm loud. Look at it. 45 minutes into the 53 minutes into this call, you already can tell how loud I am. It was the loud mouth of the bunch. You could tell.
Yeah. The only thing I hate is long drives first thing in the morning. That's the thing that gets you is, if I don't get up and get moving, if I just got to get on the road, that's the thing. It's about 2 hours into the drive. It's like, yep, this sucks. I'm not moving. I'm just sitting there. Then it might be time for a cup of coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, but it's either that or, one energy drink or something I'll do every once in a while. But just as
soon as you put my ass in a seat, I start.
I'm so used to driving because I'm always the driver too. So
that sucks.
I'd rather drive than let anybody else drive. I don't trust many people driving. Maybe like 5. I will drive, and I know I'll stay awake. I know I'll get us there. Usually, like in the past, there'd be a lot of guys. I get to somebody's house, and I've always had a pickup truck. Well, let's take my car. I'm like, all right, they just hand me their keys, and they get in and. Would drive because they knew they'd get there. They get there fast, and they get there safe.
So you're a bit of a control freak. You want to be in control of the vehicle if you're going to be in it.
Yeah, I would say probably yes. For the most
I'm the same way.
Not always, but for the most part. But I mean, I've been up and down the road so much that I know where I'm. They always know I know where I'm going too. There's not.
Yeah. Well, let Brian drive. Brian knows where we're headed.
Yeah, I mean, back in the early 2000s, you didn't have stuff on your phones. You didn't have GPS. You either printed it out or you knew where you're going. That was.
Yeah, and it was bullshit too especially when you use MapQuest, you print it out and it says pass I-71, and so you take I-71 because I subject read. So I took 71, 45 miles outside of my way. Had to drive all the way back because it says pass it. Why'd you even put it on there?
Yeah, it doesn't tell you. Yeah, it doesn't tell you to. It doesn't tell you turn around either. Like you messed up. No. Turn around.
It was my sister on the phone. No, you're going the wrong way. Son of a bitch.
So outside of wrestling, outside of football, what kind of music are you into?
I listen to all kinds. I mean, I would say for the most part, I probably listen to more country than anything else. But it's depending what mood I'm in. I'll listen to heavy metal sometimes. I don't listen to much pop. I'll listen to 80s rock and roll music.
Pop's stupid.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, there's a select few rap things I like, but not. There's not a lot of that. I couldn't tell you. Like when people say, "Have you heard of this guy?" I'm like, "Who the hell is that?"
90s gangster rap. That's all. Yeah. 90s gangster rap. That's
like I know who
me and the big
Dre
dude.
Is, Snoop Dogg.
That's what we listen to. Whenever we're playing
Eminem. I don't.
Yeah.
Some people tell me these things. You ever heard this guy? I'm like, what in the world is that? Like I don't.
What did you just call me?
Yeah.
A guy
And
named
I,
The
and I don't
Weekend?
listen. Yeah. When they do that for the Super Bowl, I'm like, who the hell is the
Who's
Weekend?
The Weekend?
Yeah, I had no
And
idea.
now
I had
when
to
I hear it
Google
on the radio, I'm like, hey, it's The Weekend. And I only know that from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I'm like, and it still sucks. So,
Give me a lineup. I can't point them out.
no.
So, just knowing the local music scene, I used to be big into it. My friend's band, I had a couple friends in bands in Omaha and in Lincoln, played all over. Now they're stuck in Scottsdale, Arizona.
In prison?
No, that's Greg.
I know, I was joking with you, brother, but you said stuck in there.
Well, I say stuck, but he likes it there. I'm like, who wants to be in 105 degrees every single day?
Not me.
Yeah.
I was offered to move
I hate
to
the
Phoenix
cold.
a couple times, and I was like, nope, not a chance.
I hate the cold.
I don't mind the warm weather. I mind the 120 degree warm weather though.
Yeah.
I miss Virginia
desert
Beach
heat.
already, man. I haven't been here a year, and I'm already starting to feel the cold come in, and I'm like,
I don't mind the cold. I mean, I love fall. I love to put on a hoodie and sweatpants, and I'm not, I don't like it to be minus 30 or anything like that, but I don't mind the cold and the snow either. But I don't, minus 30 wind chill. Yeah, I mind that. I mean, you have to be insane to
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that's up some North Dakota shit right there. Right by the Canada border. Hell no.
Yeah, the problem with North Dakota is you go up there, and I've gone up there to wrestle in the winter, and boy, there's just nothing to block the wind. I mean, there's nothing there to block the wind. It's just
You're the only one blocking the wind.
Yeah, when people talk about that they're tough, this and that, no. People in North Dakota that live there through the winter, that's tough right there. Those are tough people right there.
Oh yeah.
That is the nastiness that goes through there, because it's not even like Minnesota where, there's buildings and this and that and trees to block it. In parts of North Dakota, there's plains and nothing.
Yeah.
It's almost like a throwback to Wayne's World. Hey, we're in North Dakota. Yeah.
Yeah.
North Dakota.
Yeah, I mean, people think Nebraska's bad, but at least, North Dakota's still in another level of cold.
Yeah.
And wind.
Yes. F that.
Wyoming kind of the same way.
The only time I ever felt colder than anything around here and there is when we were in the middle of the freaking Atlantic in December.
Oh yeah, that ride back sucked, man.
Yeah.
They're like, hey Benny, you're on the radio today, so I could go flight deck and wear the radio and just walk around. I'm like, yeah, thanks AO1 for giving me the radio today, because you knew exactly what it was like outside.
There's nothing worse than freezing and not being able to do anything about it.
In the cold water, in the cold wind, and like you said, nothing to break. No, there was nothing. We'd hide behind jets. It was terrible.
I don't know how
Turn
the
it on
guys
so I
on the
can warm
Bering
up. Turn
Sea
it
and
on.
the crab fishermen, that's a whole different level.
Nope.
If I was out there working like them, I would be warmer because my heart rate would be flowing. I'm walking around with a damn radio.
You'd be
Line
sweating
or line,
and freezing at the
face,
same
let her
time.
go.
Fuck that.
But if I was working my ass off like them, throwing those cages and shit, probably gonna be a little bit warmer because at least you're getting the blood flow going on.
Well, you're making sure you're not getting thrown off the boat either. You're worried about dying too, so you got adrenaline going too.
Yeah, exactly. So you got the brink of death right there with you.
You get splashed with cold water one time, and nope, take me home. That way.
There ain't no taking you home.
Yeah, I was gonna say I swim. I'm not that fat. I can make it a little bit, but
The other little dude's gonna jump on life preserver and just hang on to you while you make it all the way to shore with you.
The only cold I don't mind is a cryotherapy chamber. That's the only cold I don't mind.
Oh, really? You like those?
Yeah, I think they work. You only in it for 3 minutes, but
It's okay, mommy.
Are you talking about the
works pretty
cryo
good.
or the ice water?
No, the actual cryo.
Okay.
I'm not big on the old ice water. Forget that. I'd much rather do the cryo for the 3 minutes and minus like whatever I usually do about minus 225, minus 230 in there. And
What do you do that at? You got one at your house?
no, I wish. That'd be great. That'd be expensive.
Oh, you would, champ.
That'd be great. Yeah, I don't have one. I don't think I got room for it anywhere, and that's a that's an expensive piece of equipment to keep up.
Very expensive. That's why everybody has an ice bath now, because it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, it is a lot cheaper.
All you need is a horse trough and some ice and water.
Yeah.
I just go get it done every couple weeks, and so sometimes more if I got time. It's just sometimes a matter of finding time to do that kind of stuff. So nope, I try to do that every now and then. Hyperbaric chamber once in a while, and red light.
Oh, those are
therapy.
weird. Did they get you the first time?
No, it didn't. I was going there to take a nap. I like.
You didn't
It's like
overthink
nap
it.
time for me.
Yeah, some people just overthink it and think I'm about to die up in this thing.
Oh, yeah,
This
no,
is
I
my
just,
coffin.
Yeah, it's nice and extra oxygen, and I just go, for the first 5 or 10 minutes, I go through my emails real quick. Okay, and I'm like, all right, nap time now, and it's a nice nap. I try to time it I try to time it on nights where I'm gonna have to be, up all night or something. So I'm try to do it like early afternoon. I take about an hour nap, and I'm ready to go again.
Nice.
Nice.
Are you still hitting the racetracks?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, right now everything's pretty much done, but there's a few still going on. But
Is there still anything at Eagle?
no, Eagle's done. I think
Eagle Hollow Hawks?
I think they were done. That sprint car race they had, the 305 Nationals. I think that was their last race.
You been to the Eagle Hollow Haunts?
If not,
You should.
heard about it.
They're
but I've
wild,
never gone
man.
actually
They're
gone in
freaking
it.
wild, dude. They're fucking wild.
I
And I'd like to see your big old ass in the freaking haunted house. Oh!
I used to like them as a kid, and I just haven't gone in a long time. Not that I don't like them. It's just I don't know. I don't know. Now they're so insanely expensive too. I mean, when I was a kid, it was like $5 to get into a haunted house. Now it's like $50 to get into a haunted house.
That Eagle Hollow, it's kind of expensive, but it's a lot of fun. And I'm a straight bitch, and I'm not going to deny it. I don't like him at all. And I had to go because the whole group was going. Because my wife was going. And personal question, you got a wife, kids, or anything?
Yeah, I've got kids, so they don't like those things either. So
Do they want to wrestle?
That's another reason to go. I don't know. I'm not sure. My daughter might be the wrestler. She's pretty tough.
Bring another woman wrestler into Nebraska.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be a while. She's pretty young still, but she likes watching wrestling with me most nights. So she likes Raw and NXT and SmackDown. So
it's good entertainment.
I can't let them watch AEW. That's too.
I can let them watch the wrestling parts of it. I won't let them listen to them talk, because not one of them know how to cut a promo without, using every kind of slang type swear word on the planet, and I got to start answering questions of what does that mean. Go ask your mom.
Yeah.
Hubble's winning his title back.
You'll have to come and see.
Because he sure does like the bitch.
He does. Hubster's supposed to be there. So Hubster said he's going to make a statement that he might defend the title. We'll see what kind of health he's in.
I want to see Doomsday get those tag belts back.
Well, we're going to have to find a replacement person, because me and Tanner are kind of busy right now. So we're going to have to find a replacement.
Brian, you can have 2 belts, right? What's wrong with having 2 belts?
I can, but that's that's a lot of commitment. We want to find we need to find another member. We might be out here. We might do a little scouting come Friday night. So
there was Becky 2 belts. Member. Why not Brian 2 belts? It makes just as much sense.
I've had multiple belts before. I mean, there was a time that I had 6 or 7 different companies' championships. So
wow,
at one time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, don't stroke your ego too much.
Benny over there's a good tag team partner. He can hold the belt for you.
Who's
just hold it for you.
Whatever happened to and what was his name? Your Alta character.
I don't know what you're talking about. Don't have an ulterior character.
What was the?
Have you always been name? Brian Blade?
Yeah, I've always been Brian Blade.
Always?
Always.
Is that really your last name? Blade? Are you that fucking cool?
No, that's not really my last name.
I know. I'm just messing with it.
Me and Vince came up with our name. He came up with Vince a good night. I came up with Brian Blade. We were watching Nitro, and we came up with our names before we went to wrestling school, and we used them both. So,
what happened to the masked guy that always said Ariba?
Oh, Angel. Well, we're working on having. He might be back. It's Halloween, so it's been hard getting back. The problem is when you try to come across the border legally, it's hard. He should just come illegally, and he would be just fine. But the problem with having a green card going back and forth, it's twice as hard to get across the border. So
We need Jesse
told
Ventura
him.
to commentate that match.
yeah, exactly. So man, we're working on having him there for Halloween, maybe for part of the costume contest or something. You never know what he might do. As long as we can get him there. Like I said, sometimes, just having a green card and being legal is harder to get into the country than just sneaking in. So
It's not as easy as having a California driver's license anymore for Tijuana.
right. So I tried to explain that to him, but he doesn't understand English great. I just told him, I was like, just come and claim asylum, even though you already got a green card.
Yeah.
Just slip on through and get in here, and we'll get you out of here as fast as possible. Champ Brian Blade, thanks for being with us, man. You got anybody else you want to bring in? Bring them in. We got a lot of people, and defending your champ. What? Next week? This week?
Oh, this
Friday.
Friday
This
night.
Friday.
This Friday night.
Friday
Yep,
night
we'll be
in
there.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Right there. You'd probably just throw one on me for not even getting it right, and that's fair.
Yeah,
402 Sports Stop.
Maybe I'll throw my opponent on top of you. I mean,
Oh,
no,
it almost happened last time.
Throw him out in the crowd.
It almost happened last time. You're going to see my ass and be like, there's that little loudmouth son of a bitch. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it a whole lot, man. You're awesome, dude. Way to go, champ.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you,
it.
man.
See you guys Friday night.